this is Jackie from Bronx Baubles. Today I'm really excited because I'm taking you for another road trip. That road trip is to the Museum of the Fashion Institute of Technology. They're doing this fabulous exhibition called Ravishing the Rose in Fashion. And I was so intrigued by this that I had to take some time to visit it before it closes at the end of the month. And the reason why I'm so intrigued by this exhibit is because of the rose in fashion. And they got me thinking I could probably do an amazingly exciting video on my rose brooches. So come with me and take this ride and journey, and let's go to the Museum of the Fashion Institute of Technology for the Rose in Fashion exhibit. Hi everyone, this is Jack and I'm back from that exciting exhibit in Fashion Institute of Technology. I was so excited and thrilled to attend that exhibit, and I was so inspired to do my own video. Now, I just love what the exhibit showed. It showed different various rose dressing, rose patterns, rose motifs, roses in all different types and styles of fashion, including gorgeous hats, shoes, dresses, suits, menswear, and ladies wear. It was a really exciting exhibit and got me thinking, what inspired me to go into the city to go and attend this exhibit? Because quite honestly, ever since COVID started, I haven't ventured into the city, and there was a reason why I felt motivated to go and see this exhibit and break my COVID rule, because roses played such an integral part of my life growing up, and some of the things and decisions that I made. And I felt like I needed to get inspired with roses because I knew I wanted to do a video on ravishing the rose, but with vintage costume jewelry. I also want to share with you some of the rose pieces that are in my collection and maybe tell a story or two. So without further ado, let's get this video started. The first pieces I want to share with you is this amazing, incredible, beautiful, fantastic pink rose brooch that is encrusted in variations of pink, hot pink, all the way to pale pink, and it's variegated green leaves, and it's very, very meaningful to me because this brooch was given to me by my best friend's mother. I showed this brooch once before in one of my other videos, but it's so special. This piece was from my best friend, who was the maid of honor of my wedding. She passed away last year from cancer. I'm so happy and proud to have it, and I'm going to cherish it for the rest of my life. This one is a yellow rose, and yellow roses have a very interesting connotation. I think it started out in the Victorian times where the colors of roses had different meanings, and so yellow kind of evolved and changed its meaning, and today it means friendship. If you noticed in my beginning video, I'm wearing an acid dream jacket with these roses on it. I just love these roses. I purchased them out on Long Island, and I think I paid $2.99 each. And since then, I started to buy other enamel roses. They were really popular in the 70s with the flower power generation, and I one day want to fill up one of my jackets just full of these enamel roses. So one of my all-time favorite pieces is this sculptural J. Crew rose necklace set. This is a necklace, and I just think that it's just stunningly beautiful. But my favorite part of this set is actually the bracelet. To me, this is what jewelry is all about. The sculptural, artistic nature of jewelry. Bracelet exemplifies what fashion jewelry is all about. It's like a piece of sculptural work, and I just love this piece so much. It's definitely one of my favorites. Now, I recently did a haul and I found this amazing cuff bracelet. This cuff is real solid. It's not a flimsy a piece of jewelry. It's definitely not custom, and in fact, it is signed. However, I can't figure out the signature because it's so teeny tiny. And I just think that this cuff right here is just incredibly beautiful, and it has all these flower and rose motif on it. It kind of has that Wonder Woman feel that I absolutely love. And so and then it has a scalloped edge to it. I almost feel like this was like a lace cuff that was made into bronze. And to me, again, just like the J. Crew rose bracelet, this one has a sculptural element to it that I really seem to gravitate towards. Now, this cuff here sort of reminds me of the memorial rose brooch that my friend's mother gave me. But this one has a little sentimental significance for me because when I was a little girl, my mother, when we lived in the city, had this really small patch of garden right in front of our house. And if you lived in New York City, you know, yards and front lawns is just at a high premium. And so my mother had this small little patch of grass. My mother cultivated 3 varieties of roses. I used to be in awe of the way she would, you know, cultivate these roses out of this small little concrete jungle that we lived in. And it was so incredibly beautiful. So you can imagine my delight when I graduated from high school and all the girls were getting flower corsages made at the flower shop. My mother actually made my corsage from the rose bushes in front of her house in the Bronx. And so I just thought it just was so meaningful to me. So this cuff sort of reminds me of that, and I never forgot it. It's perhaps one of the best gifts my mother ever gave me was that corsage, because I really cherished it so much. I shared it with all my friends. I told everybody that my mother made it, and I remember storing it in the refrigerator for at least a year. When my daughter graduated from high school, I felt like I needed to do the same thing, and so I did. I made my daughter's high school corsage with roses that I grew in front of our house. So perhaps I created a new tradition in my family, and maybe my daughter will make a rose corsage for her daughter. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I didn't know what I was gonna have. I wanted to wait until I gave birth to figure out whether I had a boy or a girl. And so you can imagine my delight when I found out I was having a girl. And I chose her middle name. And it took me like 1 second to figure out what middle name I was going to give her. And it was going to be Rose. And the reason why I named my daughter Rose is because Rose was my father's favorite flower. So whenever I see these little rose brooches, I tend to swap them right up because I always think about my daughter Sophie Rose. One of the first things that drew me to costume jewelry was Victoriana. I was so into the Victoriana about 30 years ago. And although I still love it, it's not really my top favorite at the moment. But when I saw this porcelain brooch with the gorgeous, gorgeous pink flowers in 2 shades of pink, hot pink and baby pink, I knew I had to have it, and I was obsessed with these porcelain pieces. These are Victorian pieces, and it has the C-class in the back. But this is such a beautiful piece. I've had it in my collection, probably one of the first things that I started collecting over 30 years ago. During my costume jewelry hunts, I always look out for rose pieces. As I said before, they remind me of my daughter Sophie Rose. And so I found these gorgeous, gorgeous metal painted brooches. This one happens to be painted in red with black edging with rhinestones on it, and it's a Vendome, which is a vintage jewelry designer, very desirable designer. And this one is very unusual because it's almost in a mossy green tone to it. It's metal and it's painted, and it's a Weiss. And Weiss is really typically known for their rhinestone pieces, and there's not one rhinestone on this piece, but I just thought it was very special. I've spoken in the past about my secret obsession called Complete Set Syndrome, CSS. And so I have started a new CSS project, and it's these gorgeous sterling silver roses. And I found the necklace first, and these two rings. And what I love about these rings is this is the mama, me, and this is the baby, my daughter. And so I just had, even though it's very similar rings, I just had to buy it. And I'm looking for the bracelet, the brooch, and the earrings. I want to share with you a really special piece that, even though my daughter is not a jewelry enthusiast like her mama, there's one piece of jewelry that she said she would cherish for the rest of her life, and it's this incredible 46 charms on this bracelet that sort of symbolize each special moment of my daughter's life. And the one charm that I want to show you guys is this one. It's called the rose, and it's actually made with broken china. Here's another example of broken china jewelry, and it also has a rose motif. Now, broken china is actually made from broken china. So if you have a precious cup or a saucer or a plate or a teapot that unfortunately breaks, that has a beautiful little design on it, you can actually make jewelry out of it, and maybe even give some out to your family members. Such an adorable, great way of using something that you would have tossed out and making beautiful jewelry with it. Here is a very, very special reverse painted lucite cranberry bracelet that I just absolutely fell in love with. I just love that garnet wine color of it. It's kind of painted from the back end and also carved with these cute little roses. And these are really collectible and highly desirable. People really enjoy these. I do too. I hope to find more of these, but they're hard to come by. So look out for these beautiful cranberry bangles. Here is another incredibly beautiful, amazing J. Crew necklaces that are covered in these beautiful rose motif dangles. And inside each of the dangles is a rhinestone, and it's so wonderfully crafted. I always thought that J. Crew jewelry I used to just love it. 10 years ago, I got addicted and I kept buying them up, and I still love a lot of them. Simply incredible. They're heavy. The stones are all glass and crystal, and they're all in this, beautiful setting. And I just think they're gorgeous. And look how beautiful that is. Isn't that really pretty? Now, check out this set right here. This set I kind of put together and married different pieces, and I think it goes really, really well. This is a beautiful stone necklace, and on this stone necklace, I put one of those enamel blue 1970s flower brooches that I've started collecting onto the necklace. And because I thought the coloring was spot on, and it comes with these really, really adorable matching earrings, and it's so hard to find them sets. And believe it or not, I found the brooch one day, and then months later I found the earrings. I just couldn't believe my luck. So look out for these pieces. They're really, really nice. This here is a rose that's done with wire and little tiny seed peas, and it also has that blue. And I can see somebody wearing this entire set together. It's just really, really pretty. Don't be afraid to marry different pieces together, and in this case the blue ties it all up, and I think this is just a really, really beautiful set. Here is another charm bracelet. I simply love charm bracelets. I seem to always gravitate to them. I've loved charm bracelets since I was a little girl. This one is from the Brighton collection, and what I love so much about this one is this particular charm right here. This charm is in the motif of a tattoo. Now, I personally don't have any tattoos. I probably won't get one. But tattoos are really, really popular out there. Since I won't be getting a tattoo, I thought it'd be a good idea for me to probably wear one in the form of, what else? Vintage costume jewelry. So this is a really nice rose motif, and roses in tattoos, I would guess, is probably the most asked for tattoo, especially with women. My daughter actually has a tattoo of a rose, but then again, she's a rose, so it's very fitting. And if I were to get a tattoo, probably be a rose. I just fell in love with these teeny tiny itty bitty blue roses, and I just couldn't believe the tiniest of roses and the sheer number of roses that are in these teeny tiny little earrings. Of blue is an ombre effect again, where there's light blue, a dark blue, and a silvery blue. It's just so cute and so unique that I had to get them. Check out these sculptural 3D earrings. I just fell in love with these rose earrings, and it sort of has that 3D sculptural effect. You can see it in different angles, and these were purchased maybe about 2 years ago from Zara's, and I thought in the summertime, wouldn't it be fun to wear something like this? Coming to the end of my collection, and here we have this really sophisticated, gorgeous, simply just divine, teeny tiny brooch. This is made with a specialty stone called Margarita or Marguerite, and it's a Juliana pin. And I just think it's so delightful. The color pink, the beautiful pink sprays on it, the tiny little rhinestones in this bouquet of a rose. It's just simply adorable, and I love it. Here is my fabulous rose quartz necklace collection, and every time I see rose quartz out there, I always scoop it up because I am an eternal lover of love, and rose quartz is the stone that attracts love into your heart. And so I just have to get the rose quartz. And what I like the most out of all of these pieces is this one, where it had stone bead like this one right here carved into a rose quartz. And I sometimes wear all these pieces together. I just think it's fabulous. I was fortunate to snag this beautiful, beautiful purse. I only paid $3.99 for it, and it has this amazing sterling silver marquise frame, and it's done in almost an Art Deco, although this part of the purse, the cloth part, is made with petit point needlepoint, which is the teeniest, tiniest of little needle points, and it has these amazing bouquet of roses on it. This is perhaps from the 1930s. I looked and I looked and I looked, and I finally found the maker's mark, which is this teeny tiny, you can barely even see it. I had to use a loop, and it just signifies that is sterling silver. And even though it's a handbag, I still think it's sort of jewelry-like because of the use of sterling silver and marcasite. And accessories, to me, it's just all part of the whole jewelry appeal. Here is another example of a purse that has some rose motif to it, and this one is done with these itty bitty teeny tiny little seed pearls that are so small that I can't imagine them sewing it onto this purse. And it has these beautiful cabochon with these beautiful transferred wear, and it's made in France, and it comes with this little cute little purse. These purses are so beautiful, and I like to use them when I go out for dinner, and I always get the most compliments when you wear purses that nobody else has. The last thing I'm going to show you is my recent artwork. I just took up painting during the whole COVID, and who knew I was going to have so much fun doing it. I just really took to it I just love the idea that I can create these little fantastical ladies. I'm so into it right now, and so I get to you know, practice on my newly discovered craft. And so here is this beautiful painting, and on the painting, of course, gotta add some roses to it. And I started to experiment with jewels now. So she's wearing these beautiful jeweled necklace, and her hair piece is also covered in jewels. And I put a little sparkle in her eyes because I'm a sparkle girl. You tell me which was your favorite rose piece. And I have to say that I'm so excited that I am reaching close to 500 subscribers. When I get to 500 subscribers, I plan to do a giveaway. So I purchased some beautiful boxes that I'm gonna fill up with some jewelry, and I am going to make sure that you guys win some jewels. And so if you want to be part of this giveaway, and I hope that you do want to, because I'm filling up these boxes of gorgeous jewels. You have to make sure that you're a subscriber, make sure you hit comments, make sure you select like, and you can be entered into the contest. We'll be sharing with you on how to win your box of jewelry from my collection from Bronx Baubles. So I am so excited to do this because I have some pretty jewels that I want to share with you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey with me. I'm so happy that this is turning out the way it's turning out, that I get to share with you some stories and show you some of my jewels. And now I get to share with you some of my jewelry collection that I am so excited to give to you guys. Con mucho amor.